I never believed that a single, ordinary moment could carry the weight to change how I saw myself. For most of my life, I thought integrity was something you proved in big, dramatic situations, standing up to injustice, making bold sacrifices, saying the right thing in front of an audience. I was wrong. Sometimes, integrity shows up quietly, unannounced, disguised as inconvenience or discomfort. This is the story of one such moment, and how it taught me the importance of emotional boundaries, respect, and choosing the right path even when no one is watching. My name is Emily Carter, and at the time this happened, I was living in Denver, Colorado. I was 39 years old, recently promoted to operations manager at a mid-sized nonprofit organization that worked with community education programs. My life, from the outside, looked stable. I had a good job, a reliable routine, and the kind of reputation people associate with words like responsible and professional. Inside, though, I was tired. The promotion had come with longer hours and higher expectations. I was the person everyone called when something went wrong, and the person expected to stay calm when stress filled the room. I took pride in that, but I also carried it home with me every evening. By the time this story begins, I hadn't taken a real day off in months. One Thursday afternoon, we were preparing for our organization's annual fundraising gala. It was the biggest event of the year, held at a downtown hotel, and attendance determined a large part of our operating budget. Every detail mattered. That day, the office buzzed with nervous energy. Phones rang constantly. Volunteers moved in and out with boxes and clipboards. I was coordinating logistics when Jason Miller, one of our newer staff members, knocked on my office door. Jason was 22, fresh out of college, and working as a junior program assistant. He was smart, eager, and still learning how professional environments really worked. I had been assigned as his supervisor a few months earlier. "Emily," he asked carefully, "do you have a minute?" "Of course," I said, motioning him in. "What's up?" He stepped inside, holding a folder to his chest like a shield. "The vendor called. The display panels arrived damaged. They're sending replacements, but they won't get here until tomorrow morning." I exhaled slowly, already calculating timelines in my head. "All right. Thank you for telling me. We'll adjust." Jason hesitated. "I can stay late if you need help rearranging things." I smiled, genuinely appreciative. "That's kind of you, but only if you're comfortable. I don't want you burning out already." "I'm fine," he said quickly. "I want to help." That was Jason in a nutshell, always wanting to prove himself. Later that evening, after most of the staff had gone home, Jason and I stayed behind to finalize preparations. The office was quieter, the tension replaced with a calmer, focused atmosphere. We worked side by side, double-checking lists and confirming schedules. At one point, I stood up to grab a binder from a high shelf. As I reached for it, I felt the zipper of my dress catch awkwardly. The fabric pulled slightly, and I froze, not because anything inappropriate happened, but because I knew something was wrong. I stepped into my office and checked the mirror. The zipper at the back of my dress had slipped down a few inches, likely from all the movement throughout the day. It wasn't dramatic or revealing, but it was noticeable enough that I felt uncomfortable. I took a deep breath. This was the moment. Jason was still outside, sorting through papers. I could have ignored it until I got home. I could have tried to fix it myself, awkwardly twisting and reaching. Instead, I paused, not because I wanted help, but because I wanted to handle the situation correctly. I stepped back out into the main area and cleared my throat. "Jason," I said calmly. "Yes." He looked up immediately. "I need to step out for a moment," I said. "Before we continue, I just want to address something professionally." He straightened, sensing the seriousness in my tone. "I have a small wardrobe issue," I continued, choosing my words carefully. "I'm going to adjust it privately. I'll be back in a minute." He nodded without hesitation. "No problem at all." That was it. No awkwardness. No confusion. No crossed lines. I returned to my office, adjusted the zipper myself, and took a moment to sit down. My heart was beating faster than it should have been for such a minor situation. Not because of what happened, but because of what could have happened if I hadn't paused and thought. When I came back out, Jason was exactly where I left him, focused on his work. "Thanks for waiting," I said. "Of course," he replied. We finished the rest of the preparations smoothly. When everything was done, Jason packed up his bag. "Good night, Emily," he said. "And thanks for trusting me with responsibility today." I smiled. "You earned it. Get some rest." After he left, I stayed behind alone for a few minutes, standing in the quiet office. That small moment replayed in my mind, not with regret, but with clarity. I realized something important: boundaries are not about suspicion or fear. They're about respect, for yourself and for others. It would have been easy to mishandle that moment. Easy to blur lines unintentionally. Easy to create discomfort where none needed to exist. But professionalism isn't proven when things are obvious, it's proven when situations are subtle. The gala the next night was a success. Guests filled the ballroom. Donations exceeded expectations. Our team celebrated quietly afterward, proud of what we'd accomplished. A week later, Jason came into my office again. "I just wanted to say something," he said. "Sure," I replied. "I've worked a few internships before," he said thoughtfully. "But this is the first place where I really understand what a healthy work environment feels like." I raised an eyebrow. "How so?" He shrugged. "Clear expectations, respect, trust. It makes a difference." After he left, I sat there for a long time, letting his words settle. That's when I understood that leadership isn't just about results, it's about example. Every choice, even the quiet ones, teaches something. And that small, ordinary moment, it reminded me that integrity doesn't announce itself. It whispers, asking who you are when no one is pushing you to choose wisely. I'm grateful I listened, because sometimes, the strongest boundaries are the ones we set calmly, respectfully, and without needing to explain ourselves at all.